And Joseph could not bear with all those who were standing by him, but said, Send all away from me. And no one stood by Joseph any longer when he was making himself known to his brothers. And he let go his voice with weeping. Now all the Egyptians heard it, and it came to be heard in the household of Pharaoh. And Joseph said to his brothers, I am Joseph, is my father still alive? And his brothers could not answer him, for they were troubled. Then Joseph said to his brothers, Come near to me. And they came near. And he said, I am your brother Joseph, whom you sold into Egypt. Now therefore do not be distressed, nor let it seem hard to you that you sold me here. For God sent me before you for life. For famine is on the earth this 2nd year, and there are still 5 years remaining, in which there will be neither plowing nor harvest. For God sent me before you, to leave behind a remnant of you on the earth, and to nourish a great posterity of you. Now therefore, it is not you who have sent me here, but rather God, and he made me as a father to Pharaoh, and lord of all his house, and ruler over all the land of Egypt. So hurry, go up to my father and say to him, This is what your son Joseph says, God made me lord of all the land of Egypt. So come down to me, and do not remain. And you shall settle in the land of Geshem of Arabia, and you shall be near me, you and your sons and your sons' sons, your sheep and your cattle, and as much as you have, and I will nourish you there, for there is famine for 5 more years, lest you be annihilated, you and your sons and all your possessions. Look, your eyes and the eyes of Benjamin my brother, see that it is my mouth that speaks to you. So report to my father all my glory in Egypt, and how much you have seen, and make haste. Bring my father down here. And falling upon his brother Benjamin's neck, he wept on him, and Benjamin wept on his neck. And kissing all his brothers, he wept on them, and after that his brothers spoke to him. And the utterance was proclaimed in Pharaoh's house. They were saying, Joseph's brothers have come. And Pharaoh and his retinue were delighted. Then Pharaoh said to Joseph, Say to your brothers, Do this, load your transport animals, and go off to the land of Canaan, and come to me, taking along your father and your possessions, and I will give you some of all the good things of Egypt, and you shall eat the marrow of the land. And as for you, command these things, to take wagons for them from the land of Egypt, for your children and wives, and when you have taken up your father, come. Do not spare your accoutrements with your eyes, for all the good things of Egypt shall be yours. And the sons of Israel did so, and Joseph gave them wagons in accordance with what was said by Pharaoh the king. And he gave them a stock of provisions for the journey, and to all he gave 2 garments, but to Benjamin he gave 300 gold pieces, and 5 exceptional garments. And to his father he sent the same kinds of things, and 10 donkeys carrying some of all the good things of Egypt, and 10 mules carrying bread loaves to his father for the journey. Then he sent his brothers off, and they went, and he said to them, Do not get angry on the way. And they went up out of Egypt, and came into the land of Canaan to their father Jacob. And they told him, saying, Your son Joseph is alive, and he rules over all the land of Egypt. And Jacob's mind was confounded, for he did not believe them. And they spoke to him all the things said by Joseph, as many as he had said to them. And when he saw the wagons that Joseph had sent, so as to take him up, the spirit of their father Jacob was rekindled. Then Israel said, It is a great thing for me if my son Joseph is still alive. I will go see him before I die. Now after Israel had set out, he and all that was his, he came to the well of the oath, and offered a sacrifice to the God of his father Isaac. Then God said to Israel in a vision of the night, when he had said, Jacob, Jacob, and he had said, What is it? Saying, I am the God of your fathers. Do not be afraid to go down to Egypt, for I will make you into a great nation there. And it is I who will go down with you to Egypt, and it is I who will bring you up totally, and Joseph shall lay his hands on your eyes. Then Jacob rose up from the well of the oath, and the sons of Jacob took up their father Israel, and their chattels and their wives on the wagons that Joseph had sent to carry him. And when they had taken up their possessions, and every acquisition that they had acquired in the land of Canaan, then he came into Egypt, Jacob and all his offspring with him, sons and his sons' sons with him, daughters and his sons' daughters, and all his offspring he brought into Egypt. Now these are the names of the sons of Israel who came into Egypt: Jacob and his sons, Reuben, Jacob's firstborn, and the sons of Reuben, Henoch and Phalus, Hezron and Carmi, and the sons of Simon, Yemuel, and Yamin, and Oad, and Yakin, and Sar, and Saul, son of the Canaanite woman, and the sons of Levi, Gedson, Kaath, and Merari, and the sons of Judah, and Aunan, and Salom, and Pharez, and Zerah. But and Aunan died in the land of Canaan. Now the sons of Pharez were Hezron and Yemuel, and the sons of Issachar, Tola, and Phua, and Yasub, and Zambram, and the sons of Zabulon, Sered, and Elon, and Haloel. These are the sons of Leah, whom she bore to Jacob in Mesopotamia of Syria, and Dinah his daughter. All the persons, sons and daughters, were 33. And the sons of Gad, Saphon, and Hagis, and Saunis, and Tasoban, and Idis, and Aroidis, and Arielis. And the sons of Asher, Yemna, and Yesua, and Uel, and Baria, and their sister Sarah. And the sons of Baria, Kobar, and Melchiel. These are the sons of Zelphah, whom Laban gave to his daughter Leah, who bore these to Jacob, 16 persons. And the sons of Jacob's wife Rachel, Joseph and Benjamin. And to Joseph in the land of Egypt were born sons, Manasseh and Ephraim, whom Aseneth, daughter of Potipherah, priest of Heliopolis, bore to him. And to Manasseh were born sons, whom the Syrian concubine bore to him, Machir, and Machir became the father of Galaad. And the sons of Manasseh's brother Ephraim, Southalam and Taam, and the sons of Southalam, Edem. And the sons of Benjamin, Bala, and Kobar, and Asbel. And to Bala were born sons, Gerah, and Noman, and Anchis, and Ros, and Mamphim, and Hophim. And Gerah became the father of Arad. These are the sons of Rachel, whom she bore to Jacob, all 18 persons. And the sons of Dan, Hasom, and the sons of Naphtali, Yasiel, and Goini, and Isar, and Silem. These are the sons of Bala, whom Laban gave to his daughter Rachel, who bore these to Jacob, all 7 persons. And all the persons who came with Jacob into Egypt, who came out from his thighs, not including the wives of Jacob's sons, all the persons were 66. And the sons of Joseph, who were born to him in the land of Egypt, were 9 persons. All the persons of Jacob's house, who came into Egypt, were 75. And he sent Judah ahead of him to Joseph in order to meet him over against Terannopolis in the land of Rameses. And when Joseph had hitched up his chariots, he went up to meet his father Israel over against Terannopolis. And when he appeared to him, he fell upon his neck, and wept with much weeping. And Israel said to Joseph, Henceforth I shall die, since I have seen your face, for you are still alive. And Joseph said to his brothers, When I go up, I will tell Pharaoh, and will say to him, My brothers and my father's household, who were in the land of Canaan, have come to me. Now the men are shepherds, for they have been stockmen, and they have brought their livestock and their cattle and all that is theirs. So if Pharaoh should call you and say to you, What is your occupation? You shall say, We your servants are stockmen from childhood until now, both we and our fathers, in order that you may settle in the land of Geshem in Arabia, for every shepherd of sheep is an abomination to Egyptians. And Joseph went and told Pharaoh, saying, My father and my brothers, with their livestock and cattle, and all that is theirs, have come from the land of Canaan. And see, they are in the land of Geshem. And of his brothers he took along 5 men, and set them before Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said to Joseph's brothers, What is your occupation? And they said to Pharaoh, Your servants are shepherds of sheep, both we and our fathers. And they said to Pharaoh, We have come to reside as aliens in the land, for there is no pasture for the livestock of your servants, because the famine has prevailed in the land of Canaan. Now therefore, Your servants will settle in the land of Geshem. Then Pharaoh said to Joseph, Let them settle in the land of Geshem, and if you know that there are capable men among them, appoint them as rulers of my livestock. And Jacob and his sons came into Egypt to Joseph, and Pharaoh king of Egypt heard. And Pharaoh spoke to Joseph, saying, Your father and your brothers have come to you. See, the land of Egypt is before you. Settle your father and your brothers in the best land. Then Joseph brought in his father Jacob, and set him before Pharaoh. And Jacob blessed Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said to Jacob, How many are the years of the days of your life? And Jacob said to Pharaoh, The days of the years of my life during which I am sojourning are 130 years. Few and grievous have been the days of the years of my life. They did not attain to the days of the years of the life of my fathers, during which days they sojourned. And when Jacob had blessed Pharaoh, he departed from him. And Joseph settled his father and brothers, and granted them a holding in the land of Egypt, in the best land, in the land of Ramesses, as Pharaoh had ordered. And Joseph would measure out grain to his father and brothers, and all his father's household, grain per person. Now there was no grain in all the land, for the famine prevailed greatly, and the land of Egypt and the land of Canaan failed because of the famine. Then Joseph collected all the money that was found in the land of Egypt, and in the land of Canaan, for the grain that they would buy, and he would measure out grain to them. And Joseph brought all the money into Pharaoh's house. And the money from the land of Egypt and from the land of Canaan failed. Then all the Egyptians came to Joseph, saying, Give us bread loaves, and why are we dying in your presence? For our money has failed. And Joseph said to them, Bring your livestock, and I will give you bread loaves in exchange for your livestock, if the money has failed. Then they brought their livestock to Joseph, and Joseph gave them bread loaves in exchange for the horses, and in exchange for the sheep, and in exchange for the cattle, and in exchange for the donkeys. And in that year he nourished them with bread loaves in exchange for all their livestock. And that year came to an end, and they came to him in the second year and said to him, Let us not be wiped out by our Lord, for if the money has failed, and the possessions and the livestock are with you, our Lord, then there is nothing left to us in the presence of our Lord, except our own body and our land. So lest we die in your presence, and the land be desolated, acquire us in our land in exchange for bread loaves. And we with our land will be Pharaoh's slaves. Grant seed in order that we may sow and live, and not die, and the land will not be desolated. And Joseph acquired all the land to the Egyptians for Pharaoh, for the Egyptians sold their land to Pharaoh, because the famine gained mastery over them. And the land became Pharaoh's, and the people he subjugated to him as slaves, from the furthest boundaries of Egypt to the furthest, except for the land of the priests alone. Joseph did not acquire it. For by a grant Pharaoh gave a gift to the priests, and they would eat the grant that Pharaoh gave them. Therefore they did not sell their land. So then Joseph said to all the Egyptians, See, I have acquired you in your land today for Pharaoh. Take seed for yourselves and sow the land, and there will be produce from it. You shall give the 5th part to Pharaoh, but the 4 parts shall be your very own as seed for the land, and as food for you, and all those in your households. And they said, You have saved us. We found favor before our Lord, and we will be slaves to Pharaoh. And Joseph imposed it for them as an ordinance upon the land of Egypt, to this day, to give 1/5 to Pharaoh, except for the land of the priests alone. It was not Pharaoh's. So then Israel settled in the land of Egypt, on the land of Geshem, and they gained an inheritance on it, and increased and multiplied exceedingly. And Jacob survived in the land of Egypt 17 years, and Jacob's days of the years of his life amounted to 147 years. Now the days for Israel to die drew near, and he called his son Joseph and said to him, If I have found favor before you, put your hand under my thigh, and you shall bring about mercy and truth for me, so as not to bury me in Egypt. But I will lie down with my fathers, and you shall carry me out of Egypt, and bury me in their burial place. And he said, I will do according to your word. Then he said, Swear to me. And he swore to him, and Israel did obeisance upon the top of his staff.